We are aware that some schools are still not letting the police in to talk to young people. Do you think this will affect the progress in trying to build relationships with young people and the police?
I do. I'm very sad if we've got schools that don't let the police in, because everything I've seen about the PSNI has been about some really caring, kind policing. Now, of course, we sometimes have to go on the streets and deal with public order. Sometimes we have to use force. That's the nature of modern policing, I'm afraid. But a lot of what we do is protecting people. You know, we deal with thousands of calls every day where basically we're kind, gentle, helping people through misery, helping to find the people responsible that damage them. That's all good stuff. So policing itself is impartial and is all about, you know, doing the right things. Well, I don't think we can do that without getting to know our young people in Northern Ireland. And the best way of doing that is to meet the police officers in the school, to talk to them, to find out what they're like. Because, you know, people write about me as a Chief Constable. It's much easier if they know me as Matt Baggott. And that's exactly what we should be doing with young people. So I'm sad if we've got schools that don't let the police in, but I hope I can persuade them otherwise.
What are your opinions on ASBOS, and do you think they work? And are they always necessary as dealing with antisocial behaviour? I think
ASBOS have a role to play, but it's like everything. You have to look at what's happened before you decide how to deal with it. For some young people that get involved in local crime, not serious crime, sort of, you know, criminal damage or, I don't know, a bit of exuberance. It might be that, say, what we call them street resolutions, are the best way of dealing, which is basically saying put it right. There's no arrest. It might be that for some people a fixed penalty notice is the best way of dealing with it. For some who consistently create problems in the neighbourhood, it might be that we need an antisocial behaviour order. But what you do is you look at the situation, the young person, their family, and we wouldn't rush into ASBOS because often they're a long way down the track, you know. But they have a role to play, provided they're used wisely. I've seen them used on many occasions, and actually it's helped the young person, the family, to deal with their behaviour in a better way. So they're good, but they're not the answer to everything by any means.
We've seen recently that there's been some criticism of these Tazers. Do you think that Tasers should be continued to be used as an alternative to, say, live rounds? Or
let me give you an example of that. Okay, I'm suffering from a breakdown. Okay, very sad. But as part of that, I go and get a samurai sword, and I'm not well. So I'm not a criminal. I'm just not well. Okay, but I'm intent because I suddenly think you're the enemy. So I'm about 5 yards from you, and I've got a samurai sword. And there's a police officer there. He's got, if he hasn't got a taser, he's got a gun, but I'm going to kill you with this samurai sword. So what do? I'd have to shoot you, wouldn't I? If I've got a taser, what do? I taser you. Who's alive? We all are. That's your answer. So they have a very good role to play. I mean, they have a role to play, not as a, you know, depending on what's happening. If there's something happening where it could be life-threatening and we can use a taser, we'll use a taser rather than shoot somebody. And that's why I think they have a role. I don't believe they should be given to everybody, okay? I think they have a reputation which is quite frightening for people, and I understand that. But for some police officers to have them, I think it's entirely right. And I've had people's lives saved by the use of tasers who probably would have had to have been, unfortunately, shot, or we would have had someone else dying who was the victim of their behaviour. So yeah, we need them.